What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 91 now of the My Player Career Mode. So today, guys, we're about to embark on the FIFA World Cup. We are the defending champions coming into the competition. I asked you guys what you would prefer, whether or not you prefer to have some post-com out of the group stage, and then once we get to the live stages of the knockout rounds of the World Cup, we'll go to live. So that's what you guys voted for. You voted for this to be post-com, and then once we get out, if we do get out of the groups, for it to be live. So today, guys, we will be playing the entirety of the group stage in this episode. You will know whether or not we make it through to the knockout rounds, or, unfortunately, if we will fall defeat to this cup, or the group stage, rather. But to be completely honest with you, if we were to fall to defeat of any of the teams in here, I'd be pretty damn annoyed, because coming into this as defending champions, I would like to think we have the capabilities to beat China, Romania, and Colombia. So the only one I'm going to really kind of think that will be a close game, or we're going to have a tough time against, is possibly Colombia. You know, the first or the other two in the group shouldn't really cause us any danger, because we are the defending champions. We've already won this once, and the team that we've got right now is unbelievable. Let me just say that for sure. So if this is the way that England are going in terms of their future, I'll be pretty happy as an English fan if we can get a team like this in the future. Their ratings right now, I think there's nobody under the rating of 85, which is unreal to see. So the game against China to kick the group stage off should be quite straightforward. In 21 minutes into the game, it felt very much like that, as we got a pass through here, a run through the right-hand side, cut it onto the left foot, got past a couple of defenders, and yeah, fairly simple. You know, I mean, no disrespect with what I'm going to say here about China, but of course, you're taking on England, a team that are not necessarily known for their footballing kind of capabilities, but certainly, you know, China aren't really known for their footballer capabilities. So in that sense, we should be quite comfortable when playing these guys. And when you've got a player who plays for Real Madrid, and then you compare it with their best player who doesn't even play football for any of the Champions League clubs, then it's quite simple task, this one, let's face it. You know, I've played against some much more tougher defenders in my time as a player, and so I should be having a field day with these Chinese defenders. Again, no disrespect to any of you guys out there who may be Chinese watching my video, and I don't mean that obviously in like a way to sound big-headed or anything. It's just, you know, they're not the highest quality defenders in the world, wherever I've played against some of the best defenders in the world in that sense. So when we got a second goal here, it pretty much summed up how the game was going for China. You can see the cross comes in rather, and it takes a deflection on the way through, falls to Ross Barkley, and he nods it home to make it England 2, China 0. Celebrates with some of the other boys there as well, who were warming up and thinking that they might get a chance to come on and show what they are worth to the manager. But the rest of the boys running over to alongside them to celebrate as well. And the team, like I said, are unbelievable. We have such a good squad. In every single position, there's not really a weak kind of person. So in that sense, I think if we were going to go pound for pound and match up against, you know, the likes of Spain, Belgium, any of those guys in this World Cup, I think we'd have a good, or we'd at least give them a good game. I think probably the best team that we're going to come up against may be the Belgians, because I've looked at some of the other squads, and I've looked at some of the other guys as well. Argentina-wise, you know, Messi's not there anymore. They've got Paulo Dybala, of course, but in terms of like the entirety or the squad that I most fear playing against, I would have to say it would either be Belgium or it will probably be somebody like France, because they have some very good players as well at the moment. So either of those two guys, we've beaten them before in the series, of course, but certainly they're probably two of the best teams in this competition, if I have to say so. There's a couple of others as well, anybody that I haven't named, of course, out of those two. You know, the likes of Spain, Argentina, Italy, for example, and some bigger, you know, kind of teams across the board. You know, it's going to be tough. Trying to win the World Cup for a second time is not going to be easy in our career. But certainly, I'm much more experienced. I have a lot more quality than I did first time round. So this time, it should be quite simple for us. And you can see we went 3-0 up there. I got a second goal for myself here. As Ross Barkley, fantastic cross to make it 3. I'm at the end of it there. Tried to strike it goalwards, it ended up hitting the goalkeeper and falling into the bottom corner, as we did get ourselves a hat-trick in the opening game of the World Cup group stage. And what a way to start it off as well. A 4-0 potential win here, unless we can find another one or unless we concede. And it just was going all to plan for us at this moment. And like I said, there's not really too many teams I fear in this competition. I don't think there's that many good squads around the world that can, you know, kind of keep me quiet in that sense, you know, a centre-back partnership that I'm really fearing. But as I mentioned, there is some dark horses in there, so we will have to be careful. If you remember back as well, when we played the World Cup final, it was actually Uruguay we came up against, which is a bit surprising. But you will see who we come up against this time, as we did make it 5. Nice little finish in off the post there to get our 4th goal of the game as well. Fantastic little ball through, and that just summed up how the game went for me. As soon as I scored that, I requested a substitution, requested to come off, because I felt like I wanted to make sure I didn't pick up an injury in the last few minutes, or I wanted to keep hold of all my fitness as well to go into the next game on full fitness. And let's face it, Harry Kane coming off the bench, not a bad substitution to make, is it, if you're an England fan? So We were celebrating with the boys, but that would be the last thing that I actually did on the football field for the day. And just one more look at that finish as well. It was a really tidy finish, actually, in off of the post. And it was just a simple task to do at that stage. So that would be my last contribution to this game. But regardless, I managed to score 4. And we got the other one through Ross Barkley. And we led by 5-0. And you can see the celebration there coming into play. I actually got given number 7, which I've just noticed now. When I was actually playing the games, I thought I was number 9 because I'm pretty sure I was number 9 last time, unless it goes off of what your club number is. And I think that's the way it goes, because John Stones must be 24 for City and stuff. So I'm guessing that's exactly how it works. And in that case, I can understand why we're number 7. But there you go, guys. 5-0 win to kick the group stage off. Could not have asked for a better way to start this group stage game here. Also taking the match ball home, it's always a nice thing to have. So 6 shots in this game here, and 4 of them were goals in that sense. But the other 2, actually, I think the keeper made a couple of good saves, but I didn't want to show you them because I didn't want the video to go on for like ages right now. So although there weren't really kind of definite, goals in that sense, there were kind of half chances, and the keeper made some alright saves on them. I just didn't feel as though showing you them really warranted it, really. But there you go, match facts wise, 18 shots, 14 on target to China's none. To be expected, guys. It is to be expected. You've got to look at it and say we are much, much better side in that sense. But and just to clarify as well, I actually bumped up the difficulty for these games here from professional to world class. Now, I want to touch upon this because I've seen a couple of other comments in the comment section below. And I want to apologise as well because I was supposed to have the Champions League final on live, and obviously you understand what happened and stuff. But to give you guys an explanation as to the difficulty, right? All the difficulty changes is how the computer play, right? So all it does is change how the AI I'm playing against and also the AI I'm playing with play, right? But if I bumped up to Legendary, it seems like every single game, the AI just mismatch each other, and there's no chances created, and have either 1 or 2 shots per 90 minutes. I don't mind doing that, guys. I'm completely fine doing that, and I've spoke hugely about this in the past, and you guys have given me your feedback on it. I don't mind playing Legendary, but just be prepared that there's going to be 2 chances every 90 minutes, because that's the exact way it goes, and that is frustrating, right? World Class, it's a little bit kind of more open, but there's still a similar type of thing, whereas Professional is way too easy for me to control my player, but it seems like the 2, computer-controlled AI side of things are a little bit more competitive in that sense. So that's the only reason I play it on Professional. It's nothing to do with my difficulty. As you know, I play everything else on Legendary that I can control. The 2 series we've got going on the career mode before is on Legendary difficulty. It's nothing to do with the difficulty of it. It's to try and keep the games as entertaining as I possibly can to give you them. I don't want to give you 90 minutes worth of football and have 2 shots, both of them at the area, and both of them being skied. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I kind of play it on this difficulty, to make the games a little bit more entertaining from you guys. So hopefully that clears it up a little bit. It's nothing to do with how I'm finding it. It's nothing to do with how difficult I'm finding it. It's literally to keep the games entertaining. So sometimes, guys, we go through games on Professional when I've not even touched the ball and my team are doing well, and vice versa. So, yeah, that's just to clear that up, I guess. As we went into the second game here up against Colombia, they started off brighter, the 2 teams, hit the post early on, and then a moment of madness from Callum Chambers as he got himself sent off on the 70th minute. So this one, as I said, we were on World Class for these games here. Just shows you that when you get matched against a very, very better side in the form of Colombia, and that's just not even English what I've just said there, but yeah, just go with it, guys. When you get matched against Colombia, comparing this to China, for example, the game is a lot closer, and you can see it took us right until the 90th minute before we stole the winner. I tried to strike one goalwards, it hit the defender, bounced straight into the path of Eric Dyer, who prods home to make it Colombia 0, England 1. So, as I said to you, this is on World Class, remember? We hit 5 against China on World Class. This time around, we go to playing against, I think it was Colombia. Yeah, Colombia, sorry. And we ended up having 1 shot in the entire game, and it went in. So it was a 2-chance game, but we got the better of it, and we managed to score the goal of the game. So that's not too bad either. And even though it looked bleak after Callum Chambers sending off, we did manage to pick up 3 points as well. There you go, the referee bringing a close to the game. 1-0 victory here, 2 wins out of a possible 2 to kick the start this World Cup campaign. And as defending champions, I would like to go through with a 100% record in terms of how many games we've won in the group stage. We only played 3, so I think for us to have a serious chance and for us to be considering ourselves as, I guess, retaining the World Cup, I would say we have to win all 3 group games that we have. And you can see by the match facts, as I said, much closer game. We had 3 shots, 1 on target. They actually did have a shot, so the match facts aren't completely true because 0-0 does not make sense when you saw them hit the post early on. So, yeah, match facts pretty broken in this year's game. But regardless, guys, moving into the third game and the final game of this group stage up against Romania. I do believe that if we went on to draw this game here, I don't think there was any chance of us getting knocked out anyway, because we've beaten Colombia. We've also beaten the other who is it? The other game? Oh, China. There we go. So Colombia and China are playing against each other here. Colombia, I'm not sure what the first kind of game went between Romania and Colombia, how it fell in that one, what the winners were. I just knew that, of course, if we drew our game here, we could not be caught because we just had that stage where we would have been on 7 points. Colombia, even if they won, were on 3. Romania, even if they won, were on 3. And China, even if they win against Colombia, which is very unlikely, they'll be on 3 as well. So I don't actually know, as I said, which way it felt between these two guys, Romania and Colombia. So I don't know who won that game. But what it does mean is that we just had to do the business here and we would get ourselves out of the group. So there you go. That is the team on your screen that we went with here. Wilshere, Dyer, and I can't remember who the other one was in midfield. But I know for sure we have a very topsy-turvy midfield right now and changing midfield because we've got the likes of Barkley, we've got the likes of Lewis Cook as well in there. We've got so many good midfielders that are just simply struggling to get game time because there's so many good players as well. And the first goal, actually, fell to the new Real Madrid man in the form of Raheem Sterling. I took the strike on with my right foot, keeper made a good save, palmed it straight into the path of the Real Madrid-headed Raheem. So he'll be joining up with us next season as well, if we stay at Real Madrid, because that's going to be joining. And we'll be talking to you guys about that after this World Cup is done. And regarding the entirety of this series, I think, as I say, I want to just kind of move back to the Prem and finish off my career in the Prem and try and get ourselves, you know, back to possibly Arsenal, try and get ourselves a Premier League title. And I think that'd be the best way to end this series. So we'll discuss that in more detail anyways after the World Cup is in fact done, as we took the lead in this one here. And like I said, it was in our hands to get ourselves out of the group, and I wanted to get out of the group as winning all 3 games, because if we don't, I personally would say if you're serious about winning, you have to make sure you win pretty much every game you've got to play. You know, the likes of Real Madrid, along the lines, when they played us in the Road to Glory career mode against Hartlepool, they did not drop a game up until that final when they were defeated by us, of course. So that's the kind of thing that I'm going for. When we managed to make it 2-0 here, 73 minutes on the clock, continuing the good goal scoring form we currently have at the moment in this World Cup, that moves us, guys, onto 5 goals in the first 3 games. Of course, we didn't score up against Colombia last time out, but we did get 4 against China, so that's already going to bump our amount up a little bit anyways, even if we went to score here. But we did. We managed to get ourselves on the score sheet. It was a very, very dubious call. Felt as though I was offside, but the referee allowed me to play on and go through and run in to score the goal anyways. As I said, I'm not quite sure if I was onside or offside. That'll be for you guys to debate in the comments if you do want to do it, in fact. So, but there you go. 5 goals in the World Cup as well, so really good to see that. And if we can continue our good goal scoring form into the knockout rounds, I don't see a reason why we can't go on and get ourselves to a final and potentially win the World Cup for a second time in our career. And we did have a chance for one more as well. This time it was right-footed, low-driven shot, making it 3-0, 2 minutes from time. That was that stage where Romania realised they had to go all guns blazing to try and get themselves something out of this one. To be honest, they didn't commit as many men as I was thinking they were going to. It was just a nice ball through from Ross Barkley. I managed to get on the end of it and slot it home, but I was very disappointed because, as I said, Romania, they realised they were probably going out of this stage. I don't know if they could have mathematically got themselves through the group, but if they could, that wasn't the way that you want to go out, you know. So, although we got the victory here, 3 wins from a possible 3, that game against Colombia was quite tough. So, you know, moving into the knockout rounds, we're going to have more games like Colombia and less like China. So we need to make sure we're playing well in that one. And I can confirm as well, guys, you're about to see the draw of the entirety of the next round of the knockout phases. So you can see the rest of the results there on your screen, and you'll see the draw in a moment's time. I will say I'm kind of not really bothered about who we have got, but some of the other games in there look quite interesting as well. So you'll see it in a moment's time. I'll let you guys do the bidding here. As you can see, we did, in fact, manage to pull ourselves Argentina. So we will be playing against Lionel Messi's former nation. I don't think he's currently in the game anymore. So they will have the likes of Dybala and a couple of other players in there. Germany are in there. Belgium are in there. Belgium have actually got against Brazil, so that's going to be a really tough leg there. So we'll see, guys. I think it was actually Romania who got themselves out of their group stage as well, so that's really cool to see. But that's it from me. I will see you all with another episode of this My Player Career Mode from hopefully tomorrow, if not definitely the day after that, as we will kickstart the knockout rounds live of the World Cup against Argentina. I'll see you all for that in an upcoming day. Do not miss it. Later, guys. Adios.